Hey, John in Cypress, Texas. Matthew here with FreePrescriptionLenses.com, and tonight I'm going to show you how I cut high index lenses, 167 high index with transition signature 7 gray and Crizal Avance for your new RayBan 5228 color 5405 in the 53 eye size. This color is the matte black. Of course, let me open up your hard shell RayBan case. RayBan cleaning cloth. And the star of the show, the main attraction, the 5228. It comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while it's being shipped to me. I will put it on there when I ship to you because the circle will not be unbroken. So again, this is the RayBan 5228 color 5405, which is the matte black with the textured camouflage, as they call it, which is RayBan written in all different ways on the inside of the frame. So I'm going to pop out the original demo lenses, one of which says RayBan. Pop these out, put your frame into the tracing element of my edger, and hit start. Everybody wants to know, how does the machine know what shape lens to cut? This is why. That little stylus goes around and it traces the inside of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at FreePrescriptionLenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear, single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. John, you know yours are prescription. In fact, you pay the upgrade to get the high index lenses, and of course you pay the extra to get the transitions and the anti-glare. So this is the shape of the lens we're cutting, only minified. Let's go ahead and enter your pupillary distance, which is 57, so that is 28.5 in each eye. And the machine starts at 32.5, so I'm going to tap this minus button. It goes down in 0.5 millimeter increments till it's the correct size. I want to raise the optical center up on that one. And that is that. Let me see something here. Let me see something here. Okay, so let's come down here. We're going to get the lenses prepped. Let's see. Your right eye is -5 1/4, -50 at 40. -5 1/4, -50 at 40. I'm going to spin the axis wheel on my Marco 101 lensometer. 240. Take the lens out of the protective sleeve. Now it has a little laminate on the front of the lens to protect the lens while it's being shipped, so nothing rubs against that. I'm going to put this on your lenses while it is being shipped as well. So let's turn the power. Let's make sure we're on 0. We are good. Put the power drum on -5 1/4. Put your lens in. Rotate until the spherical component of your lens, the 5 1/4, comes into focus. Find the optical center of your lens. Check your astigmatism correction. That looks good. I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. Of course, that's all messy. Come on now, come on. This late in the day, I'm starting to run out of ink. Let me just put a few more drops in here. Get this thing kick-started. Sorry, I should have done this earlier. Didn't I know I was going to have people over tonight? Alright, clean everything off. So again, let's put that in there. We're still on 40, we're still on 5 1/4. Put that in there, get everything lined up perfectly. Try and put 3 dots on there now. Now that's a little better. Can you see that? Let me darken those for you. Uno. Alright, where's a better pen? Where's a better pen? I'll tell you what, let's do the heavy duty pen. And this is the right lens. Let's do the same thing for the left. In fact, let me go ahead and highlight that. -5 1/4, -50 at 40. 5 1/4, -50 at 40. And this is the right lens. I bet it'll write now. Okay. The left lens, -4 1/4, -175 at 40. -4 1/4, -175 at 40. Pull that out of the protective sleeve. Take that laminate off. In fact, while we're here, Let's go ahead and highlight that. 4 1/4, 175 at 40. Double check one thing. Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. Where are we at? 4 1/4. Let's put the power drum on 4 1/4. Put that lens in there. Rotate until it comes in clearly. There we go. Put 3 dots on this lens. Oh yeah, see they show up now. And we can mark this one left. Let's do the same thing here. And if you missed any of that, let me recap. Oh, you're not getting away without one bad joke tonight. So we're going to take all this back down here. Down here. The reason I put those 3 dots on there, it tells me that it's oriented in there perfectly. Can you see those 3 dots? Get those lined up perfectly. Now these are blocks, or as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. I need to attach these to your lens while they are cutting. So I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I barely have 2 left. Barely, that was close. I almost was going to run out. So, the black side is the sticky side. Put these on the first blocks. The second block, throw one of them up there. Now on the back is a little silver button, and that is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice tonight. The first time, let me pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. I'm going to line that magnet up with one in there so it stays inside the arm, as it is called. And we're going to line up these 3 dots there. The optical center goes there. These other 2 tells me that it's lined up perfectly. I'm going to hit that button. The arm comes down and places the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. Pull the paper away. Get that magnet lined up there. Now, as you can see, the PD is mirrored from the right side onto the left, same as the optical center. We're going to get those 3 dots on there. I put those dots on there so it's oriented in there just right. Because of your astigmatism, everything has to be lined up in there just perfectly. Hit this button, the arm comes down and places the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. This costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I tell everyone, go out, buy your own. Put it on your kitchen counter, then you can cut your own lenses at home. You won't need this guy anymore to do it for you. So, the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to move to the center while it's running. But this is a heavy grit sandpaper, if you will, to grind a diamond wheel that's going to grind away your lens material until it's the correct size. This wheel in the center with that channel, that little bevel, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. Now the magnet is going to do its job its second time. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. I do apologize for my bad jokes and for my voice. I'm just getting over a cold, so I do sound a little bit hoarse. Wake up the computer. This is the shape of the lens we will be cutting tonight. And these are not polycarbonate lenses for once. These are high index lenses. The thinner, lighter weight material, I do not want to polish the edge of the lens. I'm not going to put a bevel on the front surface of the lens. I'm only going to put one onto the rear concave surface of the lens. Whoa! That was not a good sign. I'm going to have to put a better sticker on there. A better sticker. So let's come back down here. That's a first. Never had that in a video before. I'm going to have to press that sticker on there, quit running my mouth and make the machine run. So let's wake up the computer again. Where's my stylus? There we go. Grab the right lens. Is my dot coming off? Everything's going wrong tonight. So let's dot everything back up again. 5 1/4. I see the center dot, but I need one more. It's dotting good tonight. Didn't like it the first time around. Alright, get everything lined up. We're back on the right. And I apologize that everything is taking longer tonight. Let me press that on there really tight. Put that in there and hit start. I won't waste my time running my mouth. There's my flashlight. So the stylus, the chuck closes. The lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around now. and it's going around measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Now with your prescription, that comes a little bit more critical. Now this is another rare event. You see water spraying on the lenses. Usually for polycarbonate lenses, they cut dry. Plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. The other unique thing about high index, which if only there was smell-o-vision, high index actually has sulfur in the lens, so there's a sulfur rotten egg smell as this lens cut. You guys are missing out on that. Who doesn't enjoy the smell of a rotten egg? So your lenses are made out of high index. They also have transitions, which I'll demonstrate later, and you also have the Crizal anti-glare. Anti-glare is 3 features in one. The first feature is that it eliminates glare when driving at night and glare from computer screens, also from overhead fluorescent lights and the such street light stop lights. The second feature is a reflection-free lens. You can see how there's a reflection on this lens. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your eyes, they're seeing just themselves. Plus, if someone takes a picture or you take a selfie with a flash, you don't see the flash lit up in the lens, they see just your eyes. And the third feature, the practical side, is that the machine that applies the anti-glare coating costs well over $1 million and takes over 24 hours to vaporize 7 different coatings onto the lens. So because of the time and the expense, Crizal puts the hardest scratch coating possible on the lens to protect your time and investment. Now if you notice, your lens is completely flat all around the edges. Just like a nickel, if I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter on its own. It's now going to go onto the bevel wheel to get the V-shaped bevel cut into the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So it's going to have a knife-like edge, a very dull knife like me, but a knife-like edge nonetheless. But your lens will be so sharp that it'll be able to cut through a piece of wet tissue, providing that you soak the tissue in a bucket of water overnight and then press down very hard with your lens. You might be able to cut through the tissue. So in just a moment, an arm is going to come out. At the end of that arm is a spinning wheel. That's what's going to apply the safety bevel to the rear concave side of the lens. Not the front convex surface, but the rear concave surface of the lens. Just in case any of this lens protrudes backward out of the frame onto your cheek, it'll be nice and smooth. While the water spraying, it looks like you're flying into a warp speed. Now in just a moment, I'll open this door with my mind. I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes me a couple hours, but I can do it. I just got to keep staring at it. All right, we're going to dry the lens off so it's not slippery. Press down on that so that does not come off yet. Let's see if it mounts into the frame first time around. Take the lens, poke it in at the outside edge, push down with the thumbs. It does not want to go. I'm going to take it down 1/10 of a millimeter. Where's my stylus? There it is. And hit retouch. Now, 1/10 of a millimeter, to all my American friends who have no clue, this is a millimeter between my thumbnails. I'm going to take 1/10 of that distance off, going around the circumference of the lens until the lens snaps into the frame easily. I do not want to force it in. There are a lot of people use heat where they put the frame into the bead pan. It makes the plastic more pliable, easier for the lens to go in, but I do not want to force the lens in there because it could cause the frame to stretch or to roll. If you imagine your frame being like a gutter, if the lens were too large, it would force the bottom of the frame to turn outward, giving you an ugly cosmetic blemish as well as shortening the life of the frame. But because I cut every pair of lenses that gets shipped worldwide and to Texas, I am a perfectionist and I make sure every lens fits perfectly. Trust me, you want someone like me on your side while your lenses are being cut. So the lens, again, getting a safety bevel on the rear surface. And then we'll take it out again. John, this time I want you to open the door with your mind. Well done, John, well done. Hit the button to open up the Chuck, the Chuckster, the Charles. Dry the lens off again. Make sure there's no schwarf, any optical sawdust around the lens. We're going to tuck it into the outside corner. Press down with the thumbs. It still does not want to go. I apologize for taking a little bit longer. I shouldn't apologize for being a perfectionist. But I'm going to take it down again. Hit retouch. The right side always takes a little bit longer. The left side, once we get the size just right, we'll flip it over and cut the left. Left is always quicker than the right. But the old carpenter saying you can always cut more off, you can never add it back on. I start large and then work my way down. It's cool with the water. You're flying at light speed as the water splashes up. Speaking of that water, I need to take a bath. Christmas is coming in a couple weeks, so I got to be ready for that. Hey, you guys is out there who are into ugly Christmas sweaters. Don't settle for a sweater. Google ugly Christmas suit. I happen to get one called Quilty Pleasures. I think from OPP Suits. Because an ugly Christmas sweater is just too bland. I want something that makes more of a statement. And yes, when I try it on, I will post it on my Instagram account, freeprescriptionlenses.com. I think you get the idea. You can search me on Instagram. On Twitter, because of the name, the length of characters, I'm Free RX Lenses on the Twitter. So now let's see. Tuck it in at the outside corner. Push down thumbs. Now it snaps in there correctly. Let's do the same thing for the left. Let me just see something. You got higher sill on that one. Press down on that sticker so I don't want to fall off. Flip that over to L. Put that in and hit start. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts. Then the lens is going to be traced by the two white styluses just like before, making sure that the lens is large enough. You can see as it's going around, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. And John, how about that with your prescription? No edge thickness whatsoever. Of course, that's what the high index lenses will do for you. So, go ahead and take this block off. Come back down here. Let's grab the flashlight. I've got a smaller flashlight, just can't find it. So, we're still on 40. I don't have to move the axis wheel. I'm going to put the lens in, find the center, and I'm getting -5 1/4. One tick mark past 5 on my way to 6. Now the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter. I'll use my PD stick this time. And it's spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0 and goes up from there in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, and so on. You are at -5 1/4. 5 times 4, 20. You're at 21 steps of nearsighted correction. Well, I should say far-sighted correction. You are very nearsighted. With your glasses off, everything is much larger than it truly appears in real life. So your lenses minify. That's why there's a minus sign. Your lenses will minify down to the correct size. You're on the 21st rung of a ladder. Now, once it's the correct size, you need 2 steps of astigmatism correction, 0.50. Now, there is a stigma over the word stigmatism. It just means shape. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. Everyone freaks out when they hear that word. So you're at 5 1/4 here, 21 steps, and you need another 2 steps for a total of 23 steps of correction. Now, astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. So once it's the correct size, we're going to take away those fuzzy edges, just like a fine-tune knob, and we're going to turn that knob to 40. A straight line from 0 to 90 to 180. We're going to turn that fine-tune knob to about 40, just about halfway between 90 and 0. Now your left eye, and of course let's go ahead and check that. and we end up with 575, one tick mark away from 6. Remember high school algebra, we add two like signs together. Let's use today's terms. If someone borrowed $5.25 from you and then they borrowed another 50 cents, they would owe you 575. That's where we're at, 575 in the red. Pluses are in the black, just like playing blackjack. But you're not 5 1/4 in the plus, you're 5 1/4 in the minus. Now your left eye, you only need 13 steps of correction for, is that right, 5, 4, yeah. 13 steps, but you need an additional 7 steps of astigmatism correction. But here's the cool part to me. You have the same axis in each eye. Usually this number could be anywhere from 0 to 180, but you happen to be the same in both eyes. Now the powers are different, but where they line up, you have one curve on your eye, the minus 4 1/4 for your left eye goes this way, and you have another minus 175 this way, and it's how they line up those two curves to make everything nice and crisp. And both of those are at 40. That is actually very, very rare. So let's go ahead and take the left lens out. Dry it off. What happened to your frame? It's down here. Where's your frame? Where's your frame? And actually, while it's in there, let me get it centered, put a dot in there for the PD that got wiped off. Can you see that? Can you see that? I'm going to darken that so you can. Let's go ahead and get your left lens in there. Suck that in, press down. Oh, because of your extra sill, the astigmatism, it doesn't want to go in. I'm going to take it down another 1/10 and hit retouch. So just like before, it's going to come back down and go onto the bevel wheel just to take 1/10 of a millimeter off, more than that. So 4 1/4, 175. Now 5 1/4, 50 is total of 575. Your left eye 4 1/4 plus 1, 5 1/4 plus 75 is a total of 6 diopters, which is a total of 24 steps of correction. You have a total of, you're on the 24th rung of a ladder, which means absolutely nothing. I'm just look, run it, stretch it, fill time. So did I ever tell you about my aunt's tuna casserole? Christmas is coming, and today is Tuesday, December 6th, 8/13. I will start shopping on Wednesday, December 7th, a day that will live in infamy. Gotta go shopping for the wife, because it's getting pretty cold here in North Carolina. In fact, it's 44 degrees tonight. Getting too cold to sleep outside in the driveway. So I gotta do some nice shopping for the wife. The little lady. I'm gonna get her a chainsaw, a ratchet set, a rake, so I can go clean up the yard. Let's take this off. Where's my paper towel? Come on, paper towel. See, that's why I can't have nice paper towels. I'm always losing them. Alright, so let's take this, pop the lens in at the outside corner using my thumbs, press down at the nose. Oh, it still does not want to go. You're fighting me. You're fighting me. It's time to calibrate the machine, so let's do this again. Hit retouch. I calibrate the machine every morning. I should have done it before this one. I apologize. You're just gonna have to watch. You're getting your money's worth out of the video tonight. You are working me for this pair of glasses. So water always sprays onto the high index lenses. At no point do they cut dry like polycarb. Onto the safety bevel. Hopefully this is in focus and you're not losing anything. Put that down there. I'm going to need that in a minute. Need the paper towel right now. Alright, now let's see. Tuck the lens in at the outside corner using my thumbs. Now it snaps in. It was fighting me before. Take this block off. Hey, the dot is still there. It always did better that second time than the first. So I'm going to put it in, same axis at 40. Put it in, check the power of the left eye. I'm getting -4 1/4. One tick mark past 4. Check your astigmatism correction. So we should end up 4 1/4 plus 175. We should end up at -6. I'm looking in here to see where it ends. -6. How about that? I couldn't have done this any better if I had done this myself. The kid is good. So a PD of 57. Turn the card around. Place the PD stick against my thumb, the 0 on your right lens. We hold it up to the left. We're getting 57 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. I want to check the optical centers. That too is perfect. Now this is the point in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that there's free shipping anywhere in the US, which includes Texas. Last I heard, until they secede. Oh, clean this off too. In fact, why should I use blue? Let's use yours, your Texas orange. I'm going to clean that off. So I field test every cleaning cloth to make sure that it works. I don't want to send out any defective cloths. So if you get this in the mail and you see some wrinkles, you know that it's been field tested. Now, I do send out instructions not only how to care for the premium microfiber cleaning cloth that I provide. Crizal is going to give you a cleaning cloth, and of course you're going to get the original one from RayBan. You're going to have all three, although you're not going to like this. This is pretty thin. Crizal just increased the size of these, but none of them is soft. I buy the highest quality grade possible for mine. I provide you with instructions on not only how to care for your lenses and frames, but for your cloth and case, so these two will last you for years. I also include a selfie request to have your picture on the website. Oh, but I forgot something. Now, when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping, you may find that these are too loose or too tight when you take them out of the box. There's a small chance of that. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I'm no exception. I'm part of that 80%, and I'll show you in a moment. But just stop by your local optical shop. 99% of them will do free adjustments, so just stop in and tell them if it's too loose or too tight or high on one side, and they'll go right to work. It only takes about 30 to 45 seconds to adjust a pair of glasses properly, but I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press down, they wobble on the counter. And for those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the RayBan 2132 New Wayfarer in color Tortoise, the classic Tortoise. I'm wearing brown today, so I always try and match my shirt to my frames, so that's why I'm wearing the Tortoise. So, flip these over, check there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. That neither one is askew. Check the tension on each spring hinge. That's good. You hear that little squeak? That brand new squeak. Once you start wearing it, it'll go away. But, so this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them, which means expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. I'm going to put them in my little transitions box that just has a UV bulb in there. All those little LED lights. See when they glow? Let's put your lenses in there. Now, as you can see, all transition lenses take about 30 to 45 seconds to darken. Takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15 to return back to virtually clear. Now, this is important. John, pay attention, pay attention. Come back to the screen. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1 and continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks that they're exposed to the sun until they get to their final hue. After that, they will work for years at maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield has UV protection to stop your upholstery from rotting, your dashboard from cracking, and that's why they don't get dark in a car. Now, as soon as you step out of the car, they will darken. Or if you have a convertible or a motorcycle without a face shield, then they'll darken then too. So, that is that. If you haven't, oh, they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they'll get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. Just want to show you there is no edge thickness now for your left lens, same as the right. Your lenses fit entirely inside of the frame. Not bad, with a total combined power of 575 in the right and -6 in the left. I think I did a good job myself. But if anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button on the website. So John in Cypress, Texas, I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription high-end 167 high-index lenses with Transition Signature 7 gray lenses and Crizal Avancé. Of course, you're going to receive these original packets to know that you're getting the original real McCoy. But again, this is the RayBan 5228 in color 5405 in the 53 eye size. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.